Okay, so welcome to the Node.js Technical Steering Committee meeting for November 11th, 2020. We'll follow the agenda that we had tagged in the repo. Hold on. I'm just hearing myself from the YouTube stream. Okay, so there we go. It is in issue 949 in the TSC repo. So before we get started on the tagged issues, does anybody have any announcements that they'd like to share?
This is more of an announcement for TSC members, but please update your scheduled availability in the spreadsheet that we pass around in email for scheduling these meetings.
Yep, that's a good heads up, and probably a heads up for other people to potentially watch the calendar, because we might adjust the schedule since daylight savings time has changed in a few different regions. Any other announcements people would like to share? Okay, if not, let's move on to the CPC and board meeting updates. I don't have anything new to report on the board front. On the CPC front, a few things that are being worked that I know of since Mary isn't here include the basically the yearly review process for projects, and the focus really today is on growth stage projects and putting in place templates for growth plans, getting a few of them in place, and basically fleshing out that part of the overall process. The other thing we have worked on and landed is simplifying the proposal process. So for some of the more complex sort of process or procedural things in the CPC, there's a proposal process, and we've simplified that down to just a couple stages, so it's a lot easier to do. I think those are kind of the main things to report at this point. And the board meeting, I think, is, well, it's I believe the last Friday of this month. So if anybody has anything that needs to be taken to the board or you think I should bring up there, just let me know. Okay, so let's moving on to the issues that were tagged for the agenda. The first one is 35788, which is backporting util types, path POSIX, and path win32 to v15 proposal. I looked at that, and it looks to me like that can be closed as the reference PRs are landed. I'll go ahead and do that unless anybody knows otherwise that we should keep it on the agenda. Okay, the next one is rename default branch from master domain or something similar. That's sort of a long ongoing issue. I know we were trying it out on a few of the different branches, or sorry, not branches, the projects within the organization. We don't have Miles today for an update. I don't know if anybody else has any updates or comments on that one. Okay, if not, we'll move on to the next one, which is audit Google account access. Again, that's basically waiting on some help from the foundation, and there's no update this week, so we'll move on to the next one. Potential stagnation of open issues on H1 bounty program, 654. I think, Rich, you were going to jump in here to give us an update.
Yeah, so we've turned off the ability to submit more entries to the program, and so the accumulating untriaged reports will at least not grow. And we're talking with the security working group about what to move forward with this. A couple of ideas being kicked around, and more information soon. And if anybody is interested, anybody in the TSC is interested in more details, just ask Michael or me, and we'll either give you the information or plug you into the conversation.
Sounds good. Thanks for that update. Any questions before we move on to the next issue? Okay, so we'll move on to the next issue, and actually there aren't any issues. The next section is on the strategic initiative, so let's take a quick look at that. I'm just going to bring up the list. And I'm just going down the list and looking at here who we have here who can give us an update. I think the only one is build resources, but I don't have an update on that one. I guess on that front, you know, we haven't run into any major issues recently, although we're not necessarily as still probably we're still not where we want to be, but we haven't had any sort of critical issues or anything like that. You know, and we're still on the board's radar, but this year is a special year, so I'm not sure if we're going to see something like in terms of paid resources or anything like that too soon, but still on the radar. Any other questions or comments on strategic initiatives that people want to bring up before we move on? Okay, if not, that closes out our agenda for today. So that was actually a fairly quick agenda. If people can stick around for the private section, I will stop the stream. Thanks for everybody who joined the stream today, and we'll see you in GitHub.